everybody was sort of stuck in this local scene. And even when I went to Boston in college, everybody was sort of in this provincial mindset of like, I'm going to be the local DJ, and I'm too scared to leave my residency to go tour. Isn't that insane?
Right.
The guys would like shoot themselves in the foot to keep their residency. They wouldn't build their business out.
They're like, well, I have 3 gigs this week in my hometown. I can't leave that. What's up, Cheat Codes Podcast? We're back.
Let's go.
We got the legend Morgan Page with us. How you doing, bro?
Good, glad to be here, guys.
Yeah.
With people.
Welcome.
Yeah,
I know. Back to reality. I guess.
Real people, real conversations. We're not even wearing masks. It's like crazy. It's like, what's going on?
But it's healthy. You know, we're okay. We're safe.
Yeah.
Out of the woods.
At least that's how we feel. We're like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of learning in this pandemic. We're talking about getting all the video gear, learning more about music production, the new Pioneer stuff, the new CDJs.
Oh yeah, you like those?
I love them.
Yeah,
Key sync and key lock. Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
There's some new product
They're kind of.
or something.
You're talking about the 3000s, right? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
They're kind of overwhelming when you look at them. It's like,
It's like an iPad.
yeah, the screen is so big, and then
Watch Netflix on
But
Yeah,
now you
we-
can finally see. I have terrible eyes, so like finally a screen that you can actually like read is nice. Oh.
Yeah, those little hot cues. It was crazy because I remember I told the Pioneer guys, like I helped a little with the design on this.
Oh, that's amazing.
I went to Tokyo to headquarters and we checked it out, and they mock it up like a cardboard box.
No way.
I told them that they have to go to Burning Man because that dust gets in all the buttons.
Yeah.
So I had a show once where I was playing Burning Man and the play and the cue buttons wouldn't even move.
Oh, it makes sense.
So I had to play off hot cues the whole set. And I said, you guys got to go. So they rebuilt a Burning Man setup in their lab, in their testing lab for playa dust.
Whoa.
So these are supposed to be weather sealed. So.
were they also all on
That's
drugs?
crazy.
Because if you really want to road test it,
Yeah.
like, okay, how would I feel if there's dust flying in my face, the buttons don't work, and I'm tripping, and it's Burning Man? Okay, it still works.
Test it like that though, because we've had a few experiences where like it craps out, or like I remember our friends Cash like it broke in the middle of the set, and
Oh, that was.
They threw it off.
They literally
threw
threw.
it off in the
At a
middle
festival?
at a
I think it was the
festival.
Ultra, right?
Yeah.
Threw it in the middle of the set where it's like, oh no, because it's a bummer when you're playing and it stops working, or it just like literally just burns out. It's too hot or whatever. So
And it's random. You like can't recreate it. Like,
Yeah,
I was trying to
exactly.
recreate like an emergency loop problem, and it's like never happens again.
right.
It's always-
That's awesome. What was that like, being able to go and work on the new ones and be able to like tell them what to
It's
fix
wild.
and change?
You go in there, it's like a 6-hour meeting. And
Whoa.
I think that's one of the things they do really well is they go through like feedback from hundreds of DJs, and I don't know if everybody goes to headquarters, but
Yeah,
But they-
no, we didn't.
yeah,
I wish, man. You definitely. That's awesome.
We were in Tokyo for like a day. We probably would have been exhausted. It'd be like, oh god.
That's so cool.
yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's
And it's like way,
awesome.
it's like an hour and a half outside of Tokyo, but it's fun. I think they got a little extra hungry after Denon launched those.
Oh, yeah.
because those are great. Their players are great as well.
Yeah, we got sent the new Danons, and we were like, wow, this is crazy. And then either right after that, they had the 3000. We're like, these look exactly the same. Like, what? What is the deal? It's like the same thing with iPhone and like Samsung. You're like, oh my god, it's so cool. And then you literally look at them side by side, and you're like, the hardware looks the same. Like it's like the iOS. It's like the operating system.
Speaking of, have you seen that like foldable phone?
Yeah, that's the Samsung, right? The Z Fold.
Oh,
You
the
can fold into a bigger
folds,
screen.
right?
Yeah, you can like unfold it and like it makes it into like a mini iPad. Not an iPad.
It's a gimmick. Let's just be real. It's a gimmick.
Is it like 3D TVs or curved TVs? Kind of goes away.
Yeah, right.
Remember curved TVs? Like,
I don't know. You like curved?
I like the curved monitors. Like he's really into like trading and stuff. And I have this like crazy 49-inch ultra wide monitor, and it's like it kind of needs the curve. Once it's that wide,
Yeah, you don't want
you're like, you're in your chair.
It's a little bit easier. To
Those I understand because they're kind of like short and really, really wide. But like a TV that's
I think
curved,
they
I don't
stopped
know.
doing TVs curve.
I'm sure they did
Yeah.
because I don't know who would want
cost
it.
more to make. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Makes sense. have you ever, speaking of like CDJs and like we had mishaps where like the pyro was too hot and then they would just poop out. Have you ever had those moments where like, oh God, this is like a big moment and my equipment is just like pooping out of me. Like, what do I do? Because that's like every DJ's. It's like every DJ's worst nightmare. You know what I mean?
I had a computer crash at Coachella once before I went to CDJs, and I was running Ableton. And if you have a 45-minute set at Coachella, you lose 15 minutes of your set rebooting, and that was a while ago. Before I was like putting better hard drives in and stuff. But it's always the gigs that you don't expect it to happen. I was playing at Dodger Stadium, like you do the first pitch, you play a set, and I had a computer at the time, won't say which brand, and it crapped out, and it was like, you're at Dodger Stadium. Not that many people are there for the opening, for the first few innings, but
still,
it's those critical situations.
Big stage, you know.
Yeah. But every time something terrible has happened, it's been like this silver lining where, okay, I had a mixer blow up from air conditioning was like leaking. The DJ booth was like flooding, and because the sprinklers went off and it fried the mixer and the CDJ. So I had to learn that. So the computer almost fried, the mixer fried, but then I learned to how to use CDJs and gotten more into that world. So
there you go.
And those are the things that make you like seasoned, like vet, so to speak. And DJing or anything that you do is that you've fucked up enough to where you can handle all of those situations.
Any little thing that happens, you're like, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah, this is nothing now. Because I remember one of the funniest ones that we had like pretty early on in our career. We were playing some college show, and we were all hyped. We were probably drunk from like pre-game before the show. And Trevor walks out like so hyped, like, let's go, trips over the power cable for the entire like setup. Everything cuts out, no music, no nothing. And then our tour manager just like looking at the power cable unplugged, just plugs it back in. I press play. They think it's like part of the show, but it was like during our intro. Like literally, it was like build up, for like 10 seconds.
And then we kind of look around and
plug it back in. Let's go. Everyone goes so like 10 times harder. So it's like you have some of those moments where you're like, oh, they thought it was part of the set. It's really not. I mean, Coachella, that might be a different thing, but it's not like it's like at the end of the day, the audience doesn't really know. I mean, we've played Lollapalooza where Migos shows up 30 minutes late. It's like they don't really know what's going on. They don't know like.
What do? You just stay flexible so that they're not, because you gotta have your vocalist, your MC, whatever, like really close on cue.
Yeah.
Just that timing of getting a singer out and.
Yeah. Luckily for us, it's like all three of us, and like we've been through those situations so many times that it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't affect us. But yeah, when you're trying to like, you're like, oh, I have a special guest, and like he's supposed to sing at this point, and then something like that happens. It's like, oh.
We had good luck as far as the special guest showing up on time and stuff.
Yeah, that's
luckily.
true.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, we didn't have Migos come out. We were just saying we played Lollapalooza, and they showed up. They showed up 30 minutes late to their set, and I just like, as an artist, you're like, why would you do that? But then from the fan, you're probably just like, oh, like you don't know if it's the Migos showed up late, if it's like the production of the Lollapalooza, like you don't know. So it's like hard to, and you forget that as an artist, you're like, oh, everything matters, and like my fans are gonna hate me because my computer pooped out on Coachella. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they don't usually. Oh, he just loves when I say pooped.
It's so funny. I've never heard you say it. You said it 3 times.
The word of the day.
Yeah.
The word of the day calendar.
Yeah, exactly. The word of the day. I love it.
Oh, I love it.
So
this is
funny.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
what was the show? Was it Ultra that we had the flames burn out our CD?
the pyro, and we had like an emergency loop situation, and I think it just repeated for a second, and then we basically just had to go on to the next track. So it's like you plan on playing a certain song, and you're like, well, I guess I'm skipping over that one.
There's a heat warning on it. It like goes.
Yeah, it just overheats.
Yeah, it was like shot outside, but then with the flames.
It was both. Yeah, there's like when the CDJs in like direct sunlight, and you have the flames, and then it just overheated. So now it's kind of like, I don't know, if we were ever to do that again, I would try to get one of those covers or like an umbrella, or I don't know what the fuck.
Go test it out in Tokyo.
Well, the new ones will probably be able to handle it.
Yeah,
you know?
for weather seal, who knows?
Been
I test it for humidity too, like in the jungle or something.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's the
the
other
Burning Man resistance road
That
test.
makes sense though. I mean, it
I
does
love
get
that.
hot out there, and it gets like humid, and it makes sense for them to test those things.
Yeah.
So.
The worst thing, those emergency loops. Do you ever have like openers do this where they just rip the CDs, the
Yes.
USBs out? It's happened so many times. I'm like, guys, just eject the USB, like because it's this buzzkill. I don't know, you have to turn it off or whatever.
Yeah.
Amateur moves.
Yeah. It is what it is. You can't really hate, but it's cool having you on the podcast, man. I was trying to think in my head. I was like, when was the last time we saw each other? Because I remember we met. I want to say for this promo only thing in Atlantic City.
Yeah,
and
that is where we met.
it's so funny when you look back like on your career and you're like, wow, we've done some like crazy shows because it was like us, Cash Cash, you. I think it was Marcus Schultz, right?
I think.
And we all played at the Borgata. And at that time we were like, oh, this is crazy. And now we just play the Borgata all the time. And it's like, you probably would never see like a lineup like that just at the Borgata. You know what I mean? It's like we basically had like a mini EDM festival at like a casino in Atlantic City. It's kind of like funny to think about that.
The panels. Did you do any panels?
The
during the whole
panels,
thing?
yeah.
I think we did. Me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking, answering questions. Yeah.
That's Carrie Vance, right?
Yeah, shout out Carrie Vance for bringing us together, meeting for the first time.
That was fun. That was a few years ago, huh? Crazy.
Probably Atlantic City's totally different. They've torn down a Trump casino, maybe.
Oh,
Well, the Hard Rock's there. I don't even remember what's been repurposed. It's probably changed.
Oh. Are we going back in time soon?
Is Atlantic City Jersey Shore, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're being
Yeah.
Yeah, we're playing at a club called the Neptune, and Jersey.
Do you remember what was the newest club that was HQ at the Red
The Golden
It
Nugget.
was this amazing hotel,
Yeah,
and
the
it's just
Golden Nugget.
sitting there like rotting for
Yeah.
a few years. It was too expensive to run it.
That's so crazy.
You might be talking about the was it the Trump one? That was like the Taj Mahal.
No,
There's
there's
that,
that
but-
different one.
Because that one got closed.
Remember we actually played there. We did a show there at this this new hotel. It's like a brand. It's super nice. When Matthew Mendy was tour managing us, and his friend Adam Gable came out. But there was like no one
Very
in the
specific.
crowd. It was like, oh yeah, I never forget it because it was like.
Oh, I remember that. It was for a radio show, and it was like, you ever? Yeah, that's another question we should probably ask you. Is like, I don't know if you ever do these radio shows, and the radio station's like, you gotta come. It'll be lit. It's a Tuesday night. And you go out and there's like nobody there except for like the employees of the radio station. You're like, yeah, well, I wouldn't be out
Like an
in
exclusive
Atlantic
thing.
City when it's raining on a Tuesday either, you know? So then it just, you're
It's a
essentially,
favor. You don't want to piss off the radio station.
yeah, of
Yeah,
course we
right,
love
right.
any radio station that supports us, but I don't know if you do those kind of shows, or even you brought up the Dodger Stadium one where it's like, you do these specific shows. Do you cater to those audiences? Are you changing your set? Like, oh, do half the people in Dodger Stadium know any of my songs? I don't know. Probably not. Do they know about EDM? I don't
I
know.
feel like it's a real skill to cater to that, like the casual fan. People, someone who's not a fan is at
Yeah.
your show, because there's always going to be some people like that, especially Vegas, where
Yeah.
and it's like a little game I like to play. Like if I can convert those people and in the set make like a hit sandwich, like put your new song
Mhm.
like two established songs and just little techniques.
Hit sandwich. That would be the new one.
That term. That's a
Hit
fucking
sandwich.
great term, bro.
Hit sandwich. Do you have any shows coming up?
Yeah, what's next? I mean, I'm doing a lot of like Texas shows and
Oh, right.
all the ones that have been open for a while, but like
You've
did,
had a
Fort
few.
Lauderdale.
You've been playing
Yeah.
the last few months, right?
I just did one in South Padre Island. It's right next to SpaceX. You can see the rocket, like the
That's
scaffolding for the rocket.
Oh,
off in the
wow.
distance. I think they'll build a resort there, like a SpaceX resort.
That'd be
Um,
sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
It'll be like a resort, and then you just hop on the rocket, go to Mars, vacation for a little bit, come back down. You know,
Yeah.
it'll be the future.
Do you have any
It's a
festivals? You
boutique play, yeah.
have any festivals you're hyped up? Like,
What's the
haven't
name?
been able
Mainly
to play in like a
clubs.
year.
Mainly
yeah?
clubs, yeah. It's gonna be mainly clubs for a while, and then I think back into the festival scene. But since it was like the lineup from before, so,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
like
Gone through.
playing catch up.
Yeah. Same
Yeah.
with us, honestly. Yeah. Can't wait to get back out to some festivals. But it's nice to be able to be, playing some clubs now.
Yeah, I love the energy in the club. I mean, the festival is its own energy, and you got that 1 hour to really impress and
Right.
really pack it in there. But just to have a live audience instead of, I was like playing to my studio during the pandemic, and
Yeah.
just cool. It's still nerve wracking. I still like that. Like, you
Yeah,
still
of
get little
course.
butterflies.
Yeah.
Running the whole setup yourself. But
Yeah. We had so many live streams during the pandemic where it's like just in our studio, green screen, and we have no idea who we're playing to. There's no faces. It's like you can kind of, after you DJ for a while, you can kind of gauge like, oh, this crowd likes this kind of music. You just look at them. You're like, oh,
just emotes on
I can tell this guy's from Jersey. Let's play some Jersey out or Jersey club or like.
Did you do any Zoom rooms with fans? Like with your diehards? Did you ever do like
I
an
think-
open Zoom room?
We started doing like the live streams where we'd play, and then we would essentially just have a phone conversation.
We'd like chat and like
Yeah, it
answer
was-
questions and hang after, and yeah, it was cool.
It's so interesting to see the fans where like they were more, it was more normal. Like it felt like it was going to be weird, but it was a more relaxed conversation.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah, some of them, like some little events got. What is that noise? Is that a
It's like
buzz? I wonder if that sound has to be getting picked up in the mics, right?
it's like nails on a chalkboard right here.
Okay, I'm glad the audience at least knows what we're talking about. What was I talking? What were we saying?
Zoom.
Oh, the diehards.
Yeah. This screech is like totally scrambled my brain.
It's like you play the show. It's supposed to be a college show, and then you do like these FaceTime meet and greets, and you're like, "Hey, how's it going?" They're just like in their dorm room. They're just like sometimes some of them are at their home with like their mom, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm just at home. You know, it's the lockdown. We had this show planned for like a year, so I just zoomed in, like watch you guys." So
It was cool to see a few of them, like some of like the events that people got really into it, and everyone's like drinking and jumping around in their apartments and dancing around. So that was interesting. But yeah, it feels good to be back in actual.
You do it more on Twitch, or what's the platform?
It was Zoom, I think. Normally we
Just
did,
Zoom, yeah.
right? Yeah.
well, we had some college shows that we did, and then private ones, and
we
then
did a couple with Twitch.
yeah, we had like Insomniac and Twitch. We did like Cheat Codes Christmas, and then we had we were doing live streams for different singles that we dropped. So yeah, but even that, I was like, wow, you forget all the production that goes into it. And we did one with Insomniac. It's like it got to be like $100,000 of like production. Like, you know what I mean? All the camera angles, all like the one we did was an exchange. So they're
where they have the camera like spins around. They've got like it's all red. It's like
yeah.
8K. Yeah.
so like the guy that's doing the he had the Steadicam. We're like, oh, Thor, you did our music video like 3 years ago. So like using legit like industry camera operators, and it's like, wow, like you can really blow a lot of money for like a high production stream.
I think the fun game of that is like, what can you do? How cheaply can you have it look amazing?
Yeah, that's the game we played too with everything. Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Like we did some of these remote shoots with drones. We did a thing with DJI where I'd go up to the mountaintop, we'd hike all the gear in, and you'd be soaked in sweat. You play your set, you know, bring one of the smaller CDJ set, like not the full-on flagship CDJs, bring an XDJ, and everything's battery powered. You got to bring your own battery, so no generators, and bring a good drone pilot, but a crew of 3. And it was like, bring some Blackmagic cameras. Those are like $2,000 each, and
So you're live streaming from the drone.
we'd record it, and then that was always the problem.
So it wasn't live; it was edited.
Right.
Okay.
We would air it live, so it wasn't live. Now that's like a real term now. It's like
Right. Yeah. Right.
because
We did the same
will
thing.
only go for 20 minutes, so you'd have to be like
Yeah. Of
watching
course.
through. But yeah, it was crazy learning all those new skills, and I love the remote shoots. They're fun. They're so much harder, but than the controlled environment. But damn.
That sounds crazy, bro.
But like, do you see all the ones like someone did a hot air balloon? One guy did a set in a helicopter. I saw
yeah.
a volcano.
Oh, wow.
Someone did a volcano. It's like an arms race.
Yeah, it's like
Underwater. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, that'd be sick.
What's next? I don't think anyone did underwater.
yeah, especially in the beginning, because wasn't David Guetta was doing it like on top of like some famous buildings,
Yeah.
like
It
in
looked crazy,
France.
and everyone's like, "Oh, we gotta top it. What
Yeah,
else can we do?"
or on a skyscraper in LA or whatever.
That's pretty awesome though. Hot air balloon. Wow. Yeah, underwater. That'd be crazy.
That's always the thing with us, because there's 3 of us. It's when it's like a tight situation, we're like, we're just not comfortable. Like we don't even want to be playing this. There's like no room behind the DJ booth, or like
The hot air balloon sounds terrible. Like it just sounds like
That sounds terrifying. Just in general, I don't think I could handle a hot air balloon. That sounds just scary. Have you been on one?
Yeah, I've done one before. I can't picture it with CDJs like sliding around. And
Is it terrifying, or is it like beautiful and relaxing, or is it both?
I think it's like deceptively relaxing, and you don't realize how dangerous it actually is if the wind picks up.
So
yeah,
scary.
Right.
Yeah.
Just the concept sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
yeah.
they gotta harness you in.
But like,
Who cares? That's a balloon.
or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't drop like full speed. It'll kind of like
that just sounds so like at least like an airplane, like you could steer and you can like steer it, I guess.
And then you have like the sandbags, so then you like drop them as you don't fall as fast.
Are we looking at the CD? Oh, is this the
This is
a hot air balloon set.
Victor. He wanted to pull up.
hot air?
Who is this?
Oh man, there's multiple people did.
Oh my God, that's a tight Juicy M hot air balloon DJ set. So this is cool. You
Which
can
one you said?
Circle presents the guys that did like one
Oh, okay.
with Zoo at the top of the Japanese Alps, and
Oh wow.
wow, they've been really consistent with them.
That seems so scary. Like the clubs.
Remember like KLM did a bunch with Armin, and like all the Dutch guys would do sets
In like
on the flight.
Yeah.
That's doable.
did
Yeah.
Yoki do like a zero gravity one
Yeah.
or something, right?
So they took the plane high enough to where gravity basically stops. They had to be harnessed
Wasn't that,
in.
like pre-COVID though, or was that?
Yeah, that was pre-COVID. Because I remember we did. It was in Germany. What is that? World Club Dome, and they were like talking about it. I guess they were one of the sponsors.
What's your favorite festival you've ever played, bro?
Yeah, Coachella, it might be the top of that, but Burning Man was so unique. Your brain is so fried. That was the first time I did that experience. Like, no drugs, but like you're like putting the pieces of your brain back together because it's such a life-altering moment. I was only there for a couple of days, but
I've never been to Burning Man. Have you guys been?
Never.
One time, yeah.
Did. When did you go?
When I was 17 or 18 with my friend Hunter Crowder. Yeah, we only went for one day, but I remember it was so weird because it's like there's nothing out there. Like, and everyone has their own.
Desert,
it's like
huh?
it's really like that movie Mad Max.
and you need everything on your supply list.
Yeah, you
if
have
you
to
forget
bring
your night goggles and you only have your day goggles, and you're screwed.
Yep.
You get caught in a dust storm,
Oh
and you
my
could be
God.
lost for 20 minutes.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So what's the difference between night and day goggles?
Just
Bro,
one's
it-
tinted.
One blocks out the sun.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It's wild.
That's awesome. Wait, so
It'd be fun to play.
Do it once. I would do it once. Do 3 days, 2 days. Don't do a whole.
You've only
week.
been
That's
once?
Crazy. Yeah. only did
And
it
that was
once.
enough,
I
huh?
kind of want to leave it at that experience because it was so
Yeah.
great.
7
but-
days, right? Or is it,
Yeah, and then a lot of people go early, like a few weeks early to set up, and
yeah, they said
Very
like
communal.
their cribs where they're gonna stop.
because you don't get paid. I mean, it's not about getting paid,
right,
and you can't
Fun
really
experience.
promote it.
right.
So,
What time
but-
do you play at? Did you play in like the middle
Like
of the
4 in
night?
the morning. Where you're just
Oh,
like you're so
wow.
out of it from all the stuff, and the stages are amazing, but I think it lives up to the hype. There is that Burning Man cliche of
Yeah, it's just like its own crazy world.
with the tech CEOs and
We're tripping.
You just have this spiritual awakening, man.
When I was like, this is not my vibe, man. No lie.
If you were 17 though, that's kind of
if
freaky.
you do it like the RV, if you do it like Elon Musk style, you know, do the RV,
then it would be
but-
chill.
Yeah.
But if you like pitching a tent and stuff and like trading stuff, I'm like,
You're like trading for your currency, like right? That's the idea. Like you're supposed to trade.
Crypto.
trade your supplies. So like if you had like I don't know extra water and I had like beer, like I need water, like you take my beer for some of your water.
Nice. What a
Sorry.
vibe.
Sorry, guys.
Popping a cold one. There you go, Matt.
Shout out Fruit Smash.
Yeah, love them. Super good.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. So what else should we talk about before we dive into? Usually we play video games
Okay.
during the podcast at the end, which is always a good time. We play this game called Rocket League. Have you played Rocket League before?
I've never totally.
You ever play
new.
Rocket?
I'm
You play any
beyond
video
new.
games?
I used to play Halo a lot.
Ooh,
Back in the
okay.
day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is there a
Halo.
new Halo coming?
I think there's like well, I know they have the Halo 5, like, right? I think.
Yeah, that was my all-time fave. It
Yeah.
just- when they
Halo's
did the
good.
split screen thing, so you couldn't play your friends in the same room, that kind of like killed the buzz for me on that. But
Oh yeah.
like you had to have full screen, and everyone had to be remote, like
Yeah.
playing in for Halo. But
Yeah, I've been playing some Halo actually with my brothers and a few friends, and you have like the version where it has like all the Halos, and you can play in between. You can like
Oh.
switch
Yeah.
between like 3 or 4 or whatever.
Different
Play all
weapons
the
and whatever.
maps, and it's pretty awesome.
You do it remotely?
What do you mean? I don't know what that means. I'm
Your brother's in Portland and you're in
oh,
LA?
yeah. As far as like, okay, yeah. So he's doing it in Portland. I'm doing it in LA, and we're just doing it with a bunch of friends and whatever. It's fun. I also got GTA recently.
Oh, that one's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. Grand Theft Auto.
yeah.
Dude, that one's
The
fun.
new one. It's
Oh, yeah.
It's sick, dude.
That
It's
one's
a
good.
There's a new one?
well the 5 or whatever the
San
most recent
Andreas
one
or
or whatever.
whatever.
Isn't that like 10 years old?
Well, the one online, there's all sorts of updates. So there's always like
Okay,
updating it and like,
okay.
doing all this crazy stuff, and it's a
there's
blast.
so many games I can't keep up with it all. now.
Yeah, right. It's wild, but
You guys play between sessions? Like I feel like it resets your ears. It's sort of like this refresher between studio sessions.
oh, that's a good idea.
Just
Take your
the
brain
audio.
off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we just started to set up this area, so now we have a little video game area over here. So in the studio area back there. So now we'll have to take some breaks and play some games, or whatever. But
Yeah, I mean that's definitely how I am creatively. Is if I can like jump around between projects, it like resets my brain, and then I can like have more energy versus 8 hours on one thing. Sometimes I'm like,
Hear it too many times. That's the
Brad.
worst. Like I have to like solo little groups of tracks and fresh.
yeah.
yeah. Do you have like a production like style or process like when you're making your records, like a go-to?
I'm Ableton guy, I just work as fast as I can, and actually made a whole quick tips site, like made a card deck for it.
Oh, nice.
Every tip, like little bit of nugget of knowledge over the years, I put into a tip. So there's like 800 tips. I took the best ones
Oh,
and made
wow.
That's a
made
lot of
card deck.
tips.
Yeah, like Brian Eno made a card deck, this oblique strategies card deck. I don't know if you've seen, or like Calvin Harris uses them all the time.
Oh wow.
We could shuffle these different creative prompts, different ideas to mix up your flow in the studio.
Almost like a writing prompt,
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, totally.
start a track this way.
I think they have one for Hollywood screenwriters too, where you can kind of shuffle your ideas. But yeah, it's been a fun little project on the side.
That's
but
really
So
cool.
is it something like as like a merch thing that your fans can get,
yeah.
or is it all digital?
It's there's a physical card deck
Cool.
we did with a company called OWC. You know, they make good Mac upgrades and accessories. And then I'm gonna do one on my own. It's gonna be a full deck, but it's a fun way to do it. You know, but my process, man, it's just like with the remix. It was cool. It was like build around the acapella, do the chord voicings, start with a really simple beat, just focus on the kick or metronome, chord voicings, lead, bass, and then like save all the window dressing for later on in the process.
Yeah. Get like that, the general view of it, like the outline, and then dive into like the
Yeah,
little
polish
details
the
after that.
atoms later on. And
I was gonna say we have a remix coming out by you
Yeah.
tonight on our Hellraisers Part 1 remixed. Thank you for doing that, by the way. It sounds amazing, bro.
it's always good when the track is amazing. So that
Hell yeah.
helps.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, you smashed it, man. We're stoked about that. It's finally coming together. It's been in the works for a while, so it's out now. Well, it'll be out by the time this is
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Check it out.
for us, it's so important for us to get remixes and collab with different DJs that have different styles than us, because our sets is like when we play live, it's everything. Like, we play all different styles, and you know we do a lot of pop records that maybe you don't want to play a 105 BPM record in a club, you know.
How do you structure that? Like if you have a slower song, do you have like pre-done transitions where you
Right, yeah.
kind of get to that
Yeah.
105 to 120? Or
Exactly. We'll do edits, or hopefully we have people that we can, like you, do a remix that like make it mix easier in the set. So yeah, sometimes we just don't play certain songs that are like, we've noticed, like we'll play in the club and like, the energy dies. So maybe we won't play that one in the club. Maybe we'll save that for our live show or our festival. So
yeah, I feel like it's hard because I love writing songs at like 100, 105, but then once you start losing that quality of the vocal when you pitch it up,
yeah,
or when you speed it up, it's a tough compromise. But
Yeah, it is.
you
Yeah,
gotta do
sometimes
it.
you lose the magic when you speed it
yeah,
up too
or
much.
the vibrato gets all chipmunky.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
you're doing a lot of vocal
Sometimes
runs.
just like maybe like if the chorus sounds good but the verse sounds weird, maybe just use like an edit of like take the acapella of the chorus and
Yeah.
make that with a bootleg or whatever. It's just a matter of like making it work. But yeah, it's just it is a bit different having to switch up the
Some guys
tempos
do that,
and
the
genres.
tempo automation where you just can bring it down, bring the BPMs down for the breakdown, add the vocal, and then ramp it up. But but sometimes that can lose the energy too. If you're doing too much tempo change, if it's too roller coastery, you can
Yeah.
lose the room. But
you want them to be in like a trance. I'm imagining with your sets, people are like, they're in it.
Locked in.
They're like locked in, like they don't know where they're at. They're like,
love that.
you're probably known for like a specific style of DJing and your live set. Do your fans ever get mad if you're just like, okay, I'm throwing in a completely different style of like electronic music? Or they're just like, bro, fuck, like what is this?
it's not too bad. It's not like Trance Family where if you play
Yeah.
anything outside of this narrow boundary, then they turn their back on you.
Right.
But it's funny. It is funny playing when I play with Armin or Gareth. Those guys, they have such loyal followings. That
Yeah.
they'll be like this, like while you're playing.
That's what I noticed. Yeah.
You're the warm-up DJ, right? Like, no.
They're like, I came here for this sound. How dare you play something else, you know?
But my fans have been pretty flexible over the years, like because it's a real roller coaster of sounds, like a little future house, progressive house, big room, EDM.
Right.
I mean, and it's interesting with the pandemic. A lot of the music that was put out was much more chill this year.
Yeah.
It's either a lot darker.
Yeah.
A lot of the slap house stuff, or it was
Right.
darker,
True.
or and it's all great stuff. But it's like, shoot, how am I? You still need that energy live. At least
Yeah.
the way I play with my sets, where I have to have, even with the clubs, you have to have that remix that takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
So
And
important.
with remixes, you never know like what version is gonna gain traction. Like we've seen that so many times where we're just doing a remix, don't have any expectations, and then it becomes like one of our biggest songs, or like
So annoying,
whatever the hell, you know?
Even with
So-
originals too. I mean, do you guys know when a song, like you must feel every song is going to be a hit because you're confident. You wouldn't release it if you didn't think it was going to be huge. But do you know when a song is going to have those legs, or is it always a surprise?
It seems to be a surprise.
Yeah, it's always a surprise.
Sometimes we think we know. We're like, oh, this one's it. You know what I mean? It's like, nope. And then the next one's it. And you're like, huh, okay, cool. So it's just kind of a matter of just like, just always just putting our best foot forward, whatever we're excited about, and like seeing what clicks. But yeah, it's always there's always some surprises. Once in a while, it's
Yeah.
It's always the timing too. It's like what came out that week, or
Right,
Yep.
exactly. What's going on? Like what resonates with like people at that moment, like in culture or society or like whatever. So it's interesting. Yeah.
Did you guys hold off any releases during pandemic?
No.
Stockpile?
Not on purpose.
No, not on purpose. Yeah. No, we were talking about this earlier. It was one good thing about the pandemic was being able to make just so much more music over the last year, and the silver lining, so we were able to make our first album and all sorts of stuff. So
It's hard. Do you work on the road? Do you guys produce in hotel as well? Or?
no, can't
So
do it.
hard.
Yeah, I've tried so many
There's
times.
some
and like,
shitty chair in a hotel. It's the wrong
Yeah.
The table's like here, and you're like at my chin. Like,
Or you like try to download a sample and the like hotel internet's taking forever. I mean, it's hit or miss. I feel like it's getting
People
better.
love it.
W,
People
it's
are
like
all about it,
$30 for Wi-Fi. You're like, come on, guys.
yeah. So you don't like it either.
2021.
You don't like it either.
I've never been good at it. Just mashups and
Yeah.
edits. I think it's the best. But because there's so much dead time that gets lost, so I just listen to a lot of podcasts and
Yeah, totally.
But try to do edits and mashups. But yeah,
I've never made something like in a hotel room and been home and been like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that was so good. Like, no, it's always like I gotta be in
Dirty.
a comfortable environment. Like that's like a huge part of like making music is being like
Some guys are good
comfortable
at
and
it,
like
but-
having everything at your
Like your laboratory.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's like Skrillex will do it at baggage claim. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
yeah, yeah.
I've heard stories of that. Like he's like walking in the airport working on a
Yeah,
track. Like,
everyone says they see him
are
like
you?
in a coffee shop, like ordering coffee, like with it's like holding his laptop. It's like what? Like that is crazy, bro. But like,
maybe it depends how you start with music. Like I started
Yeah.
with piano, so that led to just being more. I need something physical to play.
right? That makes sense. Yeah,
Right,
so in
yeah.
my bedroom
But
too.
it's
So I
always
just
like-
need to be in a little room.
The studio computer always there's some plugin missing an authorization or there's some little thing or you're out of batteries. Like just when you get things rolling and
Right. Yeah, laptop's always dying and stuff. It's like external chargers and whatever else. It's crazy. But yeah.
Are you into like manifestation at all, or like any of that law of attraction stuff at all?
yeah, I think it's all interesting. I mean, it's all I feel like with a lot of the quick tip stuff I've done, a lot of it's been philosophy for the creative
Yeah.
flow, and it's been more on the end of like, what like taking friction out of the process so that you have better creative flow.
And clarity is important too.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I heard like a quote. This was like years ago, but it's like a quote from you, and it made me think of this. This was like years ago, and you were like telling your mom like I'm gonna be nominated for a Grammy by the time I'm 30 or something. I
Yeah,
saw that
yeah.
about you.
Yeah,
So-
which is
so
a
I was like-
bold thing to say.
Yeah, it is a bold thing to say, and I think that just speaking your goals into existence is very powerful because the average person would just be afraid to say that out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for you to make that statement and then it comes to fruition,
I think it is scary if you look back. You think that music would not be a viable. It's not a realistic career. I
Yeah,
never thought it would be.
by the numbers, no.
It's insane. Like and
Statistically, no.
now especially crazy, but it helps with the timing and everything. But I think there's a lot of luck in timing, but a lot is intention and in your mind being naive enough to think you could do it for a living and do it well, do it at an international level. But I never thought. I grew up in Vermont. Like there was no role models in Vermont. Everybody was sort of stuck in this local scene. And even when I went to Boston in college, everybody was sort of in this provincial mindset of like, I'm going to be the local DJ, and I'm too scared to leave my residency to go tour. Isn't that insane?
Right.
The guys would like shoot themselves in the foot to keep their residency. They
That's
wouldn't. They
wild.
wouldn't build their business out.
They're like, well, I have 3 gigs this week in my hometown. I can't leave that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't ditch my Saturday gig in my hometown to play Saturday in another city.
Yeah. Now it's hard. I mean, did you guys start with? Did you have any local residencies before?
No, we didn't have any gigs until we started putting out music, and then we're like, oh, we got to learn how to DJ.
It was very much a learning.
First few shows were rough. Let me just say that.
First few like.
You hear your music that loud, you're like, whose song is that? I didn't recognize the kick drum. my first
No, we just had no understanding of like a mix. Like we made music that we liked, and then hearing it in the club, and they're like, oh, they don't really connect with each other. You know what I mean? Like they're just all separate songs.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do we mix this? How do we make this into a vibe for someone to hear back to back to back to back? So yeah, started getting it more into edits and doing remixes with people and all that. But yeah, first couple shows, it was like, okay, that was our song Adventure. Here's our next song.
There's some banter. You're like, how's everybody?
And we're like the opening DJ, so it's like they're expecting like somebody to play some house, and we're not. We're just playing like, here's our pop song Adventure.
I'm gonna sing it for you.
and there's 30 people in the club, and you guys are just starting to drink. Hope you enjoy.
So it's just a learning process.
I was sort of like, drink more.
Yeah, everyone rounds on
I'll
those.
just hand it
Yeah,
out.
yeah
It was fun being an opening DJ in the beginning though, because then I remember we would play and it'd be like a 30-minute set as an opener, and then we just party in the club. You know what I mean? Party in the packed club, like we're just dancing. I just remember that San Francisco show we played at the Audio.
Yeah.
That was like the first show we did, Sunburn.
Did you start playing in Vermont? Like, did you start doing DJ like sets back in the day, or did you
college
start
radio in Vermont? So like, you
Okay,
didn't have to
cool.
be a student. So at UVM, I would like fill in for people who wouldn't show up for their sets.
Oh
And
wow.
it was crazy. Played the graveyard shifts, like 4 to 6 a.m. It was great because you could fuck up and nobody would really care. Like the phone would ring sometimes, and you get like weird stalkers calling you your mix show, and that was your only audience though. And then you kind of want to see your audience. So,
Right.
but that it was weird. It started with college radio, and then that led to interning for record labels.
Oh wow.
In
Oh, wow, I didn't know
New York
that.
City. Yeah, I was an intern at Ultra with Liquid Todd.
No way.
For a couple
Good
weeks.
God.
A couple weeks.
Yeah,
Wow.
a couple weeks, and worked for some like underground like tech house labels in New York. But it was it's a funny path because the gear was so expensive then too. It was like you had to spend $4,000 just to get started. You had to be like a
Right.
drug dealer to build a studio. But
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
That was just one way of doing it.
Yeah. Another path.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did you learn anything like interning for these labels as far as like how everything worked and maybe what your path could be to be successful? Because I know that was like a big thing for me, like moving to LA, I didn't know anything. And then I met people like Kevy or even Trevor who are like, oh yeah, I've been in the music industry or my family's been in the industry. And I'm like, oh, maybe this isn't so hard. Like maybe there is a path to increase your chances.
Yeah. I mean, I slipped in demos to the A&R on mini.
Nice.
Nice.
Mini discs. They had to convert mini discs to DAT. I mean, talk about old formats there. I don't miss the old days with that. It's bad because everything was done with an MPC and like real keyboards
Oh, right.
and stuff. Computers weren't fast enough then. But I kind of learned to see how many submissions they were getting. They were just getting flooded. I mean, some of these unknown underground labels were just getting hundreds of demos a week, and I'm like, how am I going to make it in this pool of talent? And a lot of them are not actively listened to. Like, you really need a referral coming in.
Right, of course.
Like cold calling is tough. I mean, it still works these days. I feel like remix competitions are really good. They
Yeah,
still bring
totally.
good talent in, good organic way. But yeah, it was hard because nobody in my family was a professional musician,
Right.
and you didn't really know what the right path was. But I think that's when you have to come to the city. I came here in 2003. LA, so I've been here.
Been here for a minute.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was like because they were like house producers here, but it wasn't the hub that it is now.
Right.
It was crazy. I couldn't have predicted it.
Yeah. Do you think EDM is still as big of a thing in LA? Because now, I mean, for us, like when we're touring and just the idea of it, it's like Florida and the East Coast. I don't know. I feel like we play more on the East Coast in like Florida than we do LA. We do LA like twice a year. I don't know.
LA's a little spoiled, I think.
Yeah.
I think
The audience. Yeah.
there should be a few more big clubs. Like there's a little bit of a gap in the market. But I love Exchange, and Avalon's still cool. Yeah, they keep changing the name.
Yeah, right.
like-
That's an LA thing. You got
New
to.
management
Every few years, you got to change the name, revamp it.
But yeah, LA's good, but I feel like the wildest crowds, it's Texas, Florida, throughout Canada, and Pacific Northwest, like Portland, Seattle. Just
Really?
great. For me, for progressive stuff, I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. We never
fans
get to
have been
play
crazy.
in the Northwest, and I'm
Really?
from Portland.
Let's do a show together,
Dude,
guys.
that would
Let's
be
do it.
awesome. Yeah, that'd be so
Yeah.
sick. We love it up there. Well, I love it up there because I'm from there, but we never get to play. We've only played like twice ever in Portland, right? And like once at Paradiso, which is at the Gorge or whatever.
yeah.
So that's
Oh,
awesome.
man,
That's
that
cool. I'm sure
Paradiso.
you do really, really well up there. I'm sure they love that.
It's funny how you have your
stuff.
pockets, and even though like El Paso is this funny little bellwether city where I would test new material, and then you play there long enough, and you're like, it goes to the next generation of fans. The fans get older, and it's crazy how like
Wow.
those people don't go to clubs anymore. The original people I played for, so you gotta like keep those new fans happy.
Right. Where do you play in Portland or Seattle?
45 East.
45 East. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one that we played at once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been there once.
45
Yeah.
East, and Paradiso is great. Seattle, I did like the show boxes for a while. It
Right.
was a little more hard ticket, but
Yeah. Totally.
there was that huge drug bust at one of the clubs. I
Was
can't
there?
remember the name of it. Foundation. Was
Oh.
it, I
That
think?
sounds familiar.
like a huge.
Like while you were playing, you're DJing, you're like, hey guys, stop selling drugs over there.
Like a drug front sort of thing, or what?
There's a lot of. I mean, it's not like it doesn't happen in clubs, but it's
Yeah.
like. But it was like, yeah, it was a big deal. It was a great venue, and
Damn.
it's too bad because I feel like that needs a proper club.
Yeah,
Amazon
yeah.
should just fund one of the clubs.
Yeah. Come on.
You're like playing the club and you're like, I don't know how this club makes money. And then like a year later, like, oh, they were just a front. They were just a drug front.
Oh, thanks. Good venue though.
Yeah, it was a massive raid that happened up there, and
Wow.
but I love like Paradiso. Any of these outdoor venues, I think, are just a dream. Like Red Rocks,
Right.
playing the Gorge. Any excuse to play those?
Yeah,
is
Gorge is so
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
So pretty up there.
I mean, you got a vineyard. You're playing inside a vineyard,
Right.
basically, in a cliff. Like,
On a clip, yeah.
Have you ever had like some crazy shit go down during one of your shows? I mean, we've had multiple shows where people were fighting during the show and we'll just like shut the music off. And we're like, hey, stop fighting. Don't ruin it for everybody else, you know? Probably more of a college show thing, but I mean, it happens.
you got to be ready for those, right? You should be like,
Yeah.
any requests? You guys like go out like, have fun?
Put them on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring you up here. We're gonna solve this.
It's like dealing with hecklers.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Do you guys have any hecklers at your shows? I mean, it's not stand-up
I mean,
comedy, but
There have been a couple situations where people that are just like some college bros are just too drunk and they just like get too intense, start talking shit or whatever.
It's always like,
Hey,
yeah.
you guys were just like, I don't know.
I feel like
We
it's
used to
college
react,
shows.
which was not smart. But we were
Don't
like,
engage.
we were
Yeah,
new. We were like,
absolutely.
what is this guy doing? Like, fuck that, he broke you, dude. now it's like, okay, let it go. Like, we don't really, that doesn't really happen. But once in a while, there's somebody that's just like, it's just out of hand. You just have to let it go. Have somebody take care of them. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's
you
so
can only
funny.
juggle so many things on stage. Like, I
Yeah.
can't do like the lights and security and
Yeah, and then
take requests.
yeah, and fight off.
That's
Fight
for
off.
streaming.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always the college shows where they're like, who is this? I didn't pay for this. And you're like, yeah, you didn't. Your college put it on and you just showed up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why are you angry? Like, it's like, who are these guys? It's like, okay, well, you don't have to be here, bro. You know, every other show, it's like they're choosing to be there. They're paying for the ticket or they're whatever.
Like, I want Drake.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, hell yeah, boys. Should we dive in on some
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
play a game and see? You've never played before, so
here we go.
we'll
It's gonna
see
be
how it
bloodbath.
goes. But we'll go for it. Cool, let's do it. All right, here we go.
Close in case it
Buckle
does.
up.
All right.
Yeah. Here we
Only a
go.
5-minute game, so it'll be quick. We got this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ooh,
Oh my God. Oh!
scored. We got it. Let's go.
I don't think me and Kev have won yet, but I was so close. No, that wasn't me. I was in the goal. I was like, how do I get out of here?
Like that?
Oh, it was close. It was a close save.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Keep it going.
Okay.
Keep
All
it
right.
going. Nice defense.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh, damn.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, almost.
Wow. That would have been bad.
That's when I needed the reverse. Oh.
Here we go.
All right.
Off the wall.
No.
Woo! That was nice.
shot.
That was a good shot, Kev.
That was good. I had no chance. By the way, if we want to skip the replay,
Trev hates. He hates replays
replays.
with a passion.
And that's like a crazy play. I'm just like, oh, I'm not into replays, but that's just me.
Coming. Ooh, off the wall. Oh, there we go.
Nope.
Oh!
Get out of here. That's going in. Don't block it. Don't block it. Don't block that. Come on, let it go in.
Ah!
Oh, I missed it. I always miss it when I jump. Oh.
Ah!
There we go. Back the other way. Let's go. Let's finish this up. Oh, no.
Oh my God, this game.
And, we so close. We got this.
Whoa.
Oh my god. How do you break again? Or like the drift?
Left
Left trigger for
And then
reverse.
X is like how you like
drifty.
swerve or whatever. You drift, yeah.
Look at that drift.
Oh, I messed it up, bro. That would have went in. Sometimes you're too aggressive, you know?
Okay.
Not today. Oh man. Where's the ball? Where's the fucking ball? Oh, there it is. I hate when I don't have the right cam.
Oh my God. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh, stuffed.
I don't like how you just block the ball like that.
Stuffed.
It's called defense. Oh. Oh. Go in, go in. Oh.
No, I'm in the goal.
Oh. Demolition.
Demolition.
Oh, there we go. There we go, Matt. There we go, Matt. There we go, Matt. Oh, no. Oh,
Ah, so close. So
Baby,
close.
Let's go.
Okay, so we have a defensive game going on. Oh, yes.
yeah.
I thought it was. I thought the opportunity was over, and they came back.
Oh,
Can you see the game over there, Vic? Well, how's the game looking?
right. Forgot about the boost.
Yeah, the boost might be the most important button in the game.
Oh, this is it. This is it.
What the?
He didn't even jump.
I forgot which button it was. I keep pushing Y to jump for some reason. I'm thinking this is like PS4.
Oops. I just crashed.
How do you jump? Oh, it's A. Oh. No.
Yes, that was you.
I was right there. I was right there.
That was dope.
I keep taking too long to turn around.
You like crashed into me, which made me hit the ball, which that was perfect.
That's good teamwork. Yeah, good teamwork.
Good.
Okay, it's a close game, guys. 2-2.
All right, use your boost. Here we go.
Oh!
Yes, yes, it's going. It's going.
Oh, yeah!
Dang it.
We. It was like I jumped a little bit. You like stayed under it.
We both did.
What happened?
I don't know. We just like went to the side. We're like, nah.
Not this play. We'll do the next one.
Okay, here it goes. This is going in right away.
I don't like that.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Drift. Nice drift. Oh. Ooh!
No!
Oh, there you go, Wow!
What? It just happened. How did I?
That was a good setup. That was a good
So
setup.
embarrassed.
You were like this close. I saw that. That was good. That was good defense. That was good position defense.
So close.
Ooh, off the backboard.
Oh, it's going in. It's going in.
Block.
Oh!
Let's go.
Get it. Oh!
Oh, I tried to flip it in.
Oh!
Get out of here. We gotta come back. This is it. We got a minute left. We got plenty of time.
Oh, wow. On defense.
Just sitting in the goal.
Oh, nice. Come on. Oh, uh-oh. Wrong way. Reverse. Ooh, look at that.
Get it. Oh, no!
Oh. Oh, this is going to be the sickest shot ever.
Oh, good. Oh, go.
Oh!
Wow.
Damn it. That was the dagger, I think.
You called it. I don't know if that was the sickest shot ever, but
Dude, look at my speed.
it's pretty good. This might be the first one that me and Kev ever won.
I think
Yeah, I
it is.
think it is.
It's not your fault.
I think we just got lucky.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, this is. I feel it. No.
that you, Trev? Yeah.
Oh, you. Why didn't you let it go in? Oh.
Hail Mary. Hail Mary.
Oh, I'm ashamed.
Oh, it's going in. Oh.
It's not going. Get out of here. Oh, good game, boys.
Good game.
You know what? That was intense. It was solid.
You can just switch the cameras. Oh yeah, let me just mute this.
There we go.
Cool. Anything we want to say to end the podcast, boys? We got the remix, the Morgan Page remix coming out.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's out now. Let's just say it's out now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anything else you wanna promote?
Not just been a big fan of you guys for a while, so
Appreciate it, man. Yeah,
Man,
good to see you again.
Music, man,
Yeah.
So much.
And hopefully we can just keep connecting, collaborate on some stuff, maybe do some shows in Portland or wherever.
That'd be so sick. Yeah.
doing some shows. Yeah, just a bunch of new music coming out in Armada. Got some stuff on Tiesto's label, Musical Freedom, coming out later this year.
Dope.
Just staying busy with the tracks and the babies.
Oh, good, man. Congrats.
and kids.
Oh wow, the babies. I just missed that. How many kids do you have?
2.
Wow.
Which is insane.
Okay, so that's got to be busy.
Amazing, man.
Yeah,
How do you balance like the touring and being a dad?
there's no balance.
Just
Go, go, go.
nonstop.
Just help. Bringing on extra
24/7.
help. That's the only
Yeah. Takes a team. Takes a village for anything in life. Yeah. Where can people find you on social media or online or wherever?
Just pretty much at Morgan Page everywhere, morgan-page.com. And producers should check out Quick Tips. So mpquicktips.com. It's on Twitter. There'll be a card deck soon.
Cool. Amazing.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Cheat Codes Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, notification bell. You know where to find us. Love you guys.